First at 5 o'clock, the city of Austin sent crews out to remove homeless camps popping up along Lady Bird Lake near Longhorn Dam.
One of the people who provides services to those experiencing homelessness tells KXAN he discovered a woman's body inside a tent.
Some of the brothers and sisters would flag me down and was like, "We need your help. There's a dead body in the tent." So as I approached the tent, sure enough, there was a woman, and it blew me away that it was someone just in there dead.
My goodness. The city says it's moved forward with today's removal and cleanup despite a lack of space in area shelters. People were moved but were not provided a housing alternative.
KXAN's NABIL REMADNA is live near that cleanup site. And NABIL, you spoke today with providers and those who use the trails.
That's right, and when we arrived on the scene, there were a number of tents, there were a number of structures. Now all you'll find is people's possessions left behind. Now, many of those people that we saw moving out of this area along Lady Bird Lake, well, they actually moved right across the street into the woods, packing their belongings and moving quickly. Now, I asked people who use the trail what they thought. One was concerned about the freezing temperatures we could see overnight into the morning, and some are asking why move them out now, especially since there's nowhere to go. Trash trucks line the streets of Lakeshore Boulevard as city crews work to remove dozens of homeless camps along Lady Bird Lake.
Hang right there. They're right there.
But as crews work, some people could be seen packing their belongings and moving deeper into the woods.
It's just not a place to live. You cannot live in the woods.
Anthony Jackson with We Can Now, a direct service provider for those experiencing homelessness, says when there's a sweep, there should be a plan and somewhere to send people. As for today's sweep, a city spokesperson told us shelter is at capacity. Enforcement and cleanup do not include a housing alternative.
Right now, there's a sweep taking place right now, and these people don't have any designated place to go, so they have to go into the woods.
Aaron Sandell was walking by when the cleanup was taking place.
It's 80-something degrees. They're removing this person's shelter. It's going to be 30 degrees tonight, getting below freezing. So obviously the immediate thought is, where is he going to find shelter?
The city says over a 12-month period, they have successfully moved more than 1,700 people into housing. But more resources are still needed.
I think the city needs to be doing a lot more. Again, it's such a picture of Austin that you have Oracle headquarters and you had someone just struggling to survive across the street in a little shelter.
We all want the same thing, which is to end homelessness. We want to be able to run and enjoy our city and not have to see people living outside. We all want the same thing, but we all have to come to this table and we have to revisit the plan.
Now, the city tells us there will be no cold weather shelters activated tonight. Also, there were 7-day notice signs posted at some of these sites warning people that they would be removed. Now, again, some of those people you can see off in the distance, they have moved into the woods. We Can Now, the service provider that we spoke to, says that they are looking for donations as well as volunteers to help get these people the resources they need. Again, though, many of those people moving just across the street from the shelters they were removed from. Back to you.